Hello, everyone. This is the Chicago election. This is your host, Wasim Sahwell, and today I'm with my co-host Jessica. Today we'll be
Hello.
reviewing the third mayoral candidate, Barnaby Joyce. I hope to Lord that I said that right. So the first article we'll be looking at here is one that's supporting him. We're looking at the website theguardian.com, Australian news. This article was created by. Huh, I don't see that. Where it is. Do you see who the article is created by?
I believe it is by.
I don't think it says.
I don't. Yes, it does not say.
Okay, so
But
the Guardian created this news because apparently whoever wrote this did not decide to put his name on it for some reason. Okay, so we're just gonna start it. Okay, so the title of this article is Barnaby Joyce hits back over leadership pressure. I'm not going anywhere. Barnaby Joyce said he's not going anywhere, blasting suggestions he should be ousted as national leader by calling them a witch hunt. The deputy prime minister, who has taken personal leave after his relationship with a staffer was made public, also played down a phone hookup on Monday afternoon between nationals officials from 4 states and the federal party. I am humbled by the support of my electorate and in the community, he told Fairfax Media in an interview published on Tuesday. People are starting to see this as a witch hunt. I'm not going anywhere. I would. Joyce said the phone hiccup was not an official meeting, reiterating that the leader of the Nationals was decided by the party MPs. Okay, Jessica, after hearing and reading these first four paragraphs, what do you think is happening in this article?
well, I believe that he got caught with a hidden relationship with one of his staff members. But what is difficult for me to understand is what does he mean by witch hunt?
I believe
Does
what
he
he
mean people are trying to burn him at the stake?
No, I believe what he mean by witch hunt is that maybe you're right. Maybe he got caught with with an affair with one of the other candidates. But I believe by witch hunt means that people are just going after mayoral candidates to uncover dirty secrets. And since people are so aggressive with him trying to be forcing him to go down, I think that's what he means by calling them witch hunting.
Oh, very much, thank you. But why would he state that two people that he's not going anywhere, but would if they're doing a witch hunt?
Oh, I believe that. I believe what he's trying to what he's saying by that. He's saying that people are trying to get him to stand down, to leave, to quit. But he's telling them that he's not gonna quit. He's gonna stand here. He's still gonna run. He's gonna try to win. That yeah, it doesn't really matter that he had a phone hookup, quote unquote. He's just gonna keep going through. He's gonna try to win. He's gonna do his best. Yeah, he's not gonna back down from the pressure of the public. Anything else would you like to state on this about these four paragraphs? Sorry.
Well, about these 4 paragraphs, no.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
Okay, so let's go down. So the next few paragraphs say his New South Wales Nationals colleague Michael McCormack, who has been touted as a potential replacement, dodged multiple questions about the issue on Monday, refusing 6 times to explicitly back Joyce's leadership. There is no challenge at the moment. He has the party's support, the minister told Sky News. McCormack also missed 5 opportunities to rule out a challenge at next Monday's National Party's room meeting in Canberra. There's no spill, there's no vacancy at the moment. He later added, "Of course I support Barnaby Joyce. He's our leader. He's been a very good leader. A news poll published by the Australian newspaper on Monday found 65% of Australian voters believe Joyce should quit as a national leader. Ooh, and either go to the backbench or quit politics. Wow. Okay, so that's a huge jump. So after reading this, what would you say about McCormack and Joyce Barnaby Joyce?
I'd say, sorry, I'd say it's been a challenge for both of them, but how will this affect the reputation of Illinois?
That's true. And apparently, with the poll, that 65% of Australian voters believe Joyce should just quit as a nationalist leader. So, like, what do you think that their votes are justified, or do you think that they're just overreacting to a phone hookup?
Well, for some of them, I believe the vote is justified, but for some who just love to cause panic or to cause suffering for her, I believe that it doesn't. But for this, I believe in my heart that the people's opinions do affect the Illinois and who becomes mayor.
Okay. So we're gonna keep going down, and oh wait, I'm sorry. One more question. When McCormack said, what do you think about McCormack's behavior when he missed 5 opportunities to rule out a challenge at the next Monday's Nationals party, or that he refused 6 times to explicitly back Joyce's leadership? Do you think that he's trying to? I'm sorry. Do you think he's trying to, try to separate himself from Joyce, or do you think do you think he thinks that he knows? Do you think that he knows that Joyce isn't a good leader, and is trying to secretly replace him?
I think he's trying to replace her, but he might also be trying to separate himself from her.
Okay.
At the same time.
Okay. We're gonna move down. So if we keep scrolling down, we can see that the Queensland Liberal National Party MP Lou O'Brien, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce that name, said while some people were concerned about the crisis engulfing Joyce, just as many, if not more, were supportive of him. Asked if there was any chance Joyce would be rolled as leader, O'Brien told ABC Radio, 24 hours is a long time in politics. I don't think there is. The Wide Bay MP does not believe Joyce stepped down and would not be drawn on who he would vote for in the event of a leadership spill. Malcolm Turnbull on Monday said he could not say if the Deputy Prime Minister would survive as national leaders after his affair with his former staffer and now pregnant partner Vicky Campion. Speaking in London, the Foreign Minister and Deputy Liberal leader Julie Bishop said there had been more than enough commentary on Joyce's situation, and she wasn't going to add to it. So that was a huge mouthful, huge chunk. So, what do you think after reading these last few, hearing me read these last few paragraphs? What do you think of O'Brien, Joyce, and Julie Bishop?
Well, with Julie Bishop and Joyce, they were supposedly lovers, right?
I believe so.
Well, supposedly, it discomforts me to see that he decided to cheat on his wife, supposedly, and that O'Brien might have tried to get him to get out of the election for this due to it. So
okay.
It disheartens me.
Okay. I'd like to point out one thing, that I do not believe Vicky Campion is his wife. It's just his pregnant partner, and she was his former staffer. So I'm assuming that the affair was with Vicky Campion, or the phone hookup was with Vicky Campion, and I believe just that Julie Bishop is a liberal leader, and she just doesn't want to state anything on Joyce's behalf because I don't think Joyce is in a good position for her to speak up.
I believe you're right.
Okay, so anything you want to add or say, because we just reached the very end of the article?
Well, with him in the beginning of the article, him saying that his relationship with the staffer was made public, it disheartens me to see what, if he becomes mayor, what will he hide from us?
Okay. So, we're gonna move next to the second article. Barnaby Joyce sexual harassment allegation. Catherine Merritt speaks out. This is also another article on The Guardian. This was created September 18, 2018. So this was about a few months ago, honestly. And there wasn't really an update or anything recent about this case. So we're just going to review it and just see if anything here kind of, I don't know, like, talks about Joyce's, like, person, or Joyce's, morals. So, if we begin, the first few paragraphs, I'm going to read the first few paragraphs and then tell me, what do you think? Rural advocate Catherine Merritt has spoken out about her allegations of sexual harassment against former Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce, saying she was terrified over what to do about the complaint. He was very popular, a AG minister at the time, and I didn't. I was just a little human against the big system, and I was terrified. Marriott told the 7:30 report. Speaking publicly for the first time, Marriott had detailed what happened after the alleged incident, her confidential complaint to the National Party, and the effect of her public identification. The complaint was the last straw for the former Deputy Prime Minister and the Nationalist leader Barnaby Joyce follow his return to the Parliament in a by-election over dual citizenship and revelations of his affair with his press secretary Vicky Campion. He resigned, citing harassment complaints as the straw that broke the camel's back. Wow. Okay. So, well, what do you think about? What do you think when reading these first few paragraphs?
It disheartens me. It disheartens me a lot.
Okay.
With the quote, he was very popular at the time, and I didn't. I'm just a little human against a big system, and I was terrified. That hits close to the core.
Okay. I'm sorry. Before anything, I must say this article was created by Gabrielle Chan. Just saying that right now. Also, I just found out who created the last article that we reviewed. Australian Associated Press. That's who created the Barnaby Joyce hits back over leadership pressure. So just gotta say that there, just in case. Okay. So after reading these first few paragraphs, I'd like to say that honestly, I do not. If this truly happened, that Catherine Marriott was sexually harassed, I would understand her position, that thinking that she was a little against a big system, since Barnaby Joyce was literally the prime minister. He was a very powerful man. But yeah, after reading this and finding out that he got caught, then he resigned. He citing harassment complaints, and it was found out that he had an affair with his press secretary, Vicky Campion. This does not look very good for Barnaby Joyce. Also, I'd like to point out that this article right here that we're reading right now was created, it's at September 18, while the other one was created at February 19, 2018. I don't know why it was that, but apparently it was. So, yeah, so this was before the other article. I must point that out. So, if we keep reading down, Marriott did not describe the incident in detail, saying that she did not want to be defined by it, but she struggled over whether to make a complaint. After the incident, I walked up to my hotel room and I burst into tears. Then I couldn't sleep that whole night. I didn't actually sleep for a week. I rang two of my closest friends and told them what had happened, and they said they couldn't believe. ... They were absolutely shocked, and they said, "You can't tell anyone. You cannot tell anyone. You will be destroyed if this comes out." Mary considered her options as the Me Too movement unfolded, highlighting sexual harassment across a number of high-profile industries. She also drew strength from the words of a 14-year-old Dolly Everett, who committed suicide after allegations of bullying. She left the world with some really wise words, which were, "Speak even if your voice shakes." And that cuts me to the core, Mary had said. So after reading these last few paragraphs, what do you think?
It's a shock that somebody threatened her that if you tell anyone this, that you'll be destroyed if it comes out.
Oh, I do not believe that she was threatened. I think her friends were telling her that she shouldn't tell because she would get destroyed. I think it's because, Barnaby Joyce was still prime minister and he probably could have done some shady business to keep her silent.
Ah, okay. Now I understand that. Thank you. But because of the allegations of bullying to commit somebody to do suicide, and even a 14-year-old, it can get pretty bad if you don't speak up and somebody finds out you know something.
That's true. Sorry. Were you about to say something?
No. I was just taking a breath.
Okay, sorry. Basically, you're right. Thankfully, Marriott saw the Me Too movement and also drew strength from the now, sadly, may God rest her soul, 14-year-old Dolly Everett, who committed suicide even after bullying. When Marriott heard these words, she decided to speak out and tell everybody about what Barnaby Joyce did to her. And, it actually worked. He resigned. There's complaints. His secretary, Vicky Campion, was found out as his affair. And again, the more I read this, the more it looks like Barnaby Joyce is not a very good man. I don't know why, but okay, we'll just keep going. I'm like wondering why in the last article that we read that he's not going anywhere. This doesn't look very good. Yeah, I don't think he even attempted to correct his wrongs or anything like that.
Yeah, you're right. It does not look very good for him.
Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going. I was sort of like taking a good hard look at yourself. What's wrong with you, Catherine? While it took her time to make the complaint, Marriott rejected suggestions she should have taken the complaint to the police. If I went to the police, it's me versus him, which is a toxic space to be in. It will create no outcome for anyone else. It puts what happened that night on the public record, and on top of that, I'm exhausted after 8 months. I would have to go through the court system, which is 2, 3, 4 years long. How much would that cost me? Once the complaint was logged to the WA National Party, Marriott said it was leaked within days. The National Party leaked it. Marriott said, "My name was leaked and is one of the most frightening things that you will ever have to live through is when you finally," and then I don't know why it does that. Sorry, I said I was not going to cry. Anyway, you live through. You finally find the courage within yourself to stand up for what you believe in, and then all control is taken away. In a statement released ahead of the 7:30 report, Barnaby Jones denied any allegation of sexual harassment. I asked this be referred to the police if the complainant wished to pursue this issue, so I had the capacity to defend myself, as I firmly believe the complaint to be spurious and defamatory, he said. So before we move on to the rest of what he said, Jessica, after reading this, what do you think
I think
about?
that when she accused him of sexual harassment, it did hit a core that finally helped, I believe, others feel like they could speak out if they did. But with her name being leaked out, and the most frightening thing that he'll ever live through would be extremely terrifying, and it's a lot to go through, especially if you want to accuse somebody. Or since metaphorically, Joyce, it doesn't look very good for him. It doesn't help that he was accused of sexual harassment either.
Okay. So, okay, let's just keep going. So, where was I? Yes, he's. Oh, I'd like to say one more thing that he's claimed that the complaint was spurious and defamatory. I must say that a couple paragraphs before it said that he resigned citing harassment complaints. He had an affair with his secretary Vicky Campion. So basically, I don't really believe him when he says that this complaint is supposed to be defamatory. But yeah, okay, let's just keep going. This allegation should have been dealt with immediately after the complaint first believed there was an issue they wished to pursue. The passage of nearly a year and a half since the time of the event to when the allegation was raised has not allowed a clear determination on this issue. Following an 8-month internal investigation by the NSW National Party due to Joyce's membership in the state, Marriott was furious when she was informed there was insufficient evidence to come to a conclusion. The NSW National Party would not confirm the findings and kept any details confidential, but Marriott described the change in the party's processes for handling complaints as a big step in the right direction. Though she told Guardian Australia there was still room for improvement with accountability on timeframes. Marriott recommended to the Nationals that harassment complaints should be resolved within a month and that an independent, skilled mediator should be involved. While the party's harassment policy was updated in August 2018, it states that any complaints must be made within 1 year of the events taking place, unless the complaint can only show there is good reason why the complaint is late. This could have ruled out Marriott's complaint. A spokesman for the NSW National Party said the NSW Nationals revisited harassment and discrimination policy. It's a comprehensive and efficient framework for the handling of any complaint and is consistent with policies and regulatory schemes across Australia. So, after reading this, what do you think, Jessica?
I think that with it going all the way into Australia, it's gonna get pretty bad.
Okay.
But since most of the information was confidential, she should be safe, and I hope that she didn't have to fear about it anymore.
Sadly, even though she didn't get justice, or I like to say immediate justice for the sexual harassment that Barnaby Joyce allegedly did. I'm not saying he did, but it does kind of seem suspicious that all of these things kind of connect. But because of what she did, the harassment policy was updated. Now that any complaints any complaints that they take are now going to be like top priority, and yeah, it could help like a lot of other people who get sexually harassed by anybody that's in the government right now. So we're nearing the end of the article, and okay, I'm just gonna read the last few paragraphs. I'd like to ask you your final thoughts on this, and then we'll compare both articles and see if anything connects, anything that contradicts each other, and then any article that doesn't seem truthful. Okay. Okay. So, a spokesman for the Labour Party confirmed Marriott has also reached out to the ALP. Catherine Marriott has spoken with Labour about her keenness to work with the Parliament to develop a policy to protect politicians, staff, and public servants from bullying and harassment. We welcome her input, and the coalition should too. She called for proper processes for dealing with complaints in political parties, the corporate world, and not-for-profit sector. She said harassment was taking a toll on both the workforce, corporate knowledge, and the economy. If you think about it, 20% of the people that have been harassed and handed in a complaint are leaving the workforce. She said that's phenomenal corporate knowledge loss. Mary also has garnered support from influential rural women across social media after the inclusive findings of the case. She will speak at hashtag US2 with the journalist and campaigner Tracy Spicer, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that last name right. An event billed as lessons from the leaders in Australia's crusade against sexual harassment and organized by the Rural, Regional and Remote Women's Network of Western Australia. So after reading these last few paragraphs, Jessica, what is your thoughts on this?
My thoughts, I'm actually glad the sexual harassment got updated and that she got the support she needed.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea how the workforce could have rolled.
Oh, so basically, I'm sorry. Basically, Marriott said, Miss Marriott said that harassment was taking a toll on the workforce, which kind of makes sense on corporate knowledge and the economy, and she has gained massive support with basically a lot of women across social media because of the inclusive findings of the case, and she's now talking to the US2 hashtag US2 movement and the journalist campaigner Tracy Spicer to make sure that this sexual harassment doesn't happen to any other women again.
I completely agree with how she's doing it because no one deserves to be sexually harassed, and she's doing something to stop it.
Okay. So, okay, yeah. So, is that your final thoughts? Anything else would you like to add?
At the moment, with the harassment and the bullying from staff and public servants,
Yep.
it just disheartens me.
Okay.
How can staff and public servants do something to that someone who's been through sexual harassment?
I have no idea. Okay. So, okay. Anything that you after reading these two articles, do you see anything that might, contradict each other at all?
At the moment, I don't see much, but I do think with him being accused of sexual harassment and him saying that he was not going to step down and he's not going anywhere would contradict with each other.
That's true because I also noticed that basically because when he said he's not going anywhere, that these allegations are false. I think he gained a false sense of security that that nothing could hurt him. So it's literally there's no evidence concerning, or there's insufficient. Evidence concerning him to the crime. So I believe he's just staying there since no one can technically prove that he did it. And yeah, there's so many there's so many things that both articles say that support each other's validity on the subject, such as Vicky Campion had an affair, was the person he had an affair with. They both talk about his sexual harassment complaints on him, and yeah, no, see, both articles seem legit. They're both on the Guardian. Yeah. Do you see anything? Would you like to add anything else?
At the moment, no.
Any thoughts?
My thoughts are the sexual harassment did in fact make him look more despicable than normal, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. Before we like to go, I had an interview recently with some people outside, and when I asked them about Barnaby Joyce. They all said the same thing. They say they did not trust him because of the allegations that were against him, the sexual harassment allegations that were against him. So after reading these articles and after hearing this response from the people that I've interviewed, do you think that Barnaby Joyce is a good mayoral candidate pick for people?
I do not.
Okay. Honestly, in my opinion, I would also agree with you. But yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. This was the Chicago election. I'm your host, Wasim Sawell. This was my co-host Jessica. Thank you for coming on, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.